Hi everyone, my name is Amber. Today I'm going to be talking about my 12 most anticipated releases for June 2020. I do this video every single month and hopefully I succeed in bringing new releases to everyone's radars. Please subscribe if you find these videos useful, it would mean a lot to me. And now let's get on with the books. I've got books from various different genres to talk about today. First one being an adult thriller. This one is The Half-Sister. It comes out on the 16th of June. It's about two adult sisters who find out that they have a half-sister who they previously didn't know about, and so they realise that maybe their family isn't as picture perfect as they thought. I've been on the lookout for another great adult thriller, so hopefully this one will be that thriller for me. I also have a half-sister, so this one really stood out to me in that respect. I'm really looking forward to seeing the dynamic between all three of the sisters and just figuring out what the thriller aspect exactly is going to be. The Angel of Crows. This is an adult fantasy book by the author of The Goblin Emperor, which I haven't read yet, but I do really want to read. It's one of those books that everyone raves about, but not that many people are talking about. This comes out on the 23rd of June. It's set in an alternate London during the late 1800s when Jack the Ripper is still around. This alternate London is inhabited by angels and werewolves, and I think the main character has to investigate the Jack the Ripper murders. I'm really hoping this one's going to be a hit for me. I don't really read much historical paranormal fiction, but this one does sound quite good, and I've heard this author is amazing, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. Hunted by the Sky by Tanaz Bethina. This one comes out on the 23rd of June, and I am so hyped. So this author wrote A Girl Like That, which is YA contemporary. It was one of my favourite books of 2018, I think it was. I think she's an incredibly talented author. I haven't checked out her second YA contemporary yet, but I really want to check out this YA fantasy of hers. So in this one, the main character, called Gul, has a birthmark, and girls with the same birthmark as her have been vanishing from all over the country. The main character is forced to run away, and she is rescued by a group of rebels, and then she has to set out for revenge. Like I said, I'm so hyped for this book, and I'm really tempted to check out her previous YA contemporary as well before I read this one, but I kind of just want to get my hands straight on this one, to be honest. You Don't Live Here, which comes out on the 2nd of June. This is a YA contemporary. This one is a coming-of-age story about a bisexual main character whose life is turned upside down in the wake of an earthquake. I'm going to be honest, I'm excited for this one mostly because I'm really interested in reading about the aftermath of natural disasters. I'm expecting this one to be really hard-hitting, as I think the main character loses a family member during the earthquake, and then she's also trying to figure out her sexuality while also healing, so I think there's a lot going on there. It's very promising and I'm really looking forward to reading it. Queen of Coin and Whispers. This one comes out on the 1st of June. It's the only debut novel on this list because I also do a list of the monthly debut books that are coming out from debut authors, so I don't normally include them in my new releases videos, but this is one I had to include because I'm so excited for it. It's been very hyped up. It's YA fantasy. It's about a teenage queen who inherits a bankrupt kingdom, and she has to avenge her murdered father with the help of a cute female spy. I'm really excited for this one. I haven't seen any reviews come out for it yet. I think probably because I think the release date got pushed back and I think people put off reading their advanced readers copies, but it is coming out this month and I'm super excited for it. I Killed Zoe Spanos. This one comes out on the 30th of June. I've already read this one. It's a YA thriller about a main character called Anna who starts babysitting for a rich family in the Hamptons, and she gets caught up with the case and murder of a missing girl. I actually quite like this one because first of all I like rich people drama and the Hamptons was full of it. Secondly, I really liked that there was a podcast involved. I think it would have been better if I had listened to it as an audiobook because the podcast would have felt more real, but like Sadie, it does incorporate the podcast element of the true crime genre, so it was really exciting in that respect. Wonderland, which is adult horror. I don't read much adult horror really, but it's a genre that I really want to get into. This is the same author who wrote Baby Teeth, and it's about a mother who has to protect her family because some unnatural forces are threatening their lives, and it's set in a rural farmhouse, and I think it's going to be quite scary and atmospheric. I really want to read more horror this year because I'm going to hopefully be doing a recommendations video like I did a couple of years ago on my favourite horror and thriller books, but I haven't really read that many in recent years, so I don't want my list to be exactly the same as it was a couple of years ago. So I'm going to try to read this one as well as some other horror books in the coming months. This one comes out on the 16th of June. Burn by Patrick Ness, which is already out in the UK, but I think this is the US release date of the 2nd of June. This one is YA fantasy / historical. It involves a prophecy which is about a deadly assassin, as well as a cult of dragon worshippers and FBI agents. So I think the main character goes to a petrol station, gas station, and comes across a dragon who her father is going to hire to work on their farm. The cult and FBI somehow get involved, and I really enjoy Patrick Ness's books. I think he's a very talented writer and he writes the most obscure stuff but in a really good way, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. I do have an advanced reader's copy of it, but I have not read it as of the time I'm recording this, but I might have gotten to it by the time this video goes up. I think it sounds like a hot mess and I love it. Stranger in the Lake, which is an adult thriller. This is about a woman who marries a wealthy widower. They live in a lake house and then a body shows up there. her in the same lake that the widower's first wife drowned in, so it's all very suspicious. To be honest, I think it sounds a bit generic as adult thrillers go, but I'm very intrigued by the body in the lake thing, and also by the rich people drama, which I assume there is going to be. Mexican Gothic, which comes out on the 30th of June. This is adult Gothic fiction. It's a story set in an isolated mansion in the 1950s Mexico. Apparently a brave socialite is drawn to its treacherous secrets. I'm just really interested in this because, as I said, I'm trying to read more horror, and 1950s Gothic horror set in Mexico is like mishmash of absolutely everything that I want to read right now. And this is the author who wrote Gods of Jade and Shadow, which is a book I've been dying to read, and it's had a lot of good reviews, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one. And of course, I can't go through this video without mentioning The Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty. This book comes out on the 11th of June. It's the third book in the City of Brass trilogy, which is about a con artist from Cairo who stumbles into the world of the jinn, realises that she has some sort of magical power, and then gets involved in court politics. It's an incredible trilogy. I've already read this book. It's fantastic. 5 stars for all 3 of the books. It's honestly one of my favourites, so I would highly recommend picking it up. I've done a review on this book as well, so I'll leave a link up above if you want to go and check it out. And finally, the last bit that I want to talk about is Seasons of Storms. This one comes out on the 23rd of June. This is a YA fantasy retelling. It kind of sounds a bit like Rise of the Guardians because it's about Jack Frost. The main character, called Jack Summers, was offered the chance to live forever, or he could just die, and obviously he chooses to live forever because he's a young boy. I'm hoping there's going to be a lot of elemental magic in this one. I don't really know much about the plot of it, so I'm very intrigued. I don't think this is going to be one that I pick up right away. I'm going to wait for a few reviews, but as of right now, I am very excited to read it. So those are the 12 books that I'm most looking forward to reading in June. Hopefully I can get around to at least a couple of them. Let me know what your most anticipated releases are in the comments below, and I'll speak to you all in my next video. Bye.